Okay, my mic's off. All right. Hello, hello. Good afternoon. Let's get IG over here going. Hello, hello. How you guys doing out there? Hi, Miss Sharice Ford. Looking forward to learning how to increase your credit score. That's right. That's right. Looking forward to learning how to increase your credit score. That's what we're going to talk about today, guys. Very important topic. Hit like and share on this video. Get all of your folks involved. Klaus for Pop, thanks for jumping on here, you guys. Hit like and share. Get people involved with this. It's so important. It's so important. Your credit score is so important. I'm so excited about talking about this one. I get a lot of people calling me and asking me, do I fix credit score? You know, do you do that? Because I need to buy a house. I need to get a car. I need to get my credit score fixed. So I'm so excited to talk about this topic today, right? We always talk about taxes, but let's talk about your credit score. Very important financial matter, right? So, guys, how to increase your credit score is what we're going to talk about today. Elaine Proby here, CEO, PROBY'S Tax and Accountant. And I'm going to talk about 3 different pointers here, 3 different tips in terms of increasing your credit score. The first one we're going to talk about is reducing debt. We're going to talk about how to reduce debt. We're going to talk about acquiring credit because, of course, there's a lot of people out there who doesn't even have credit. And so, I mean, those people are going to be like, what do you mean increase my credit score? I don't even have credit. I need to acquire some credit. So how do I do that? How do I even get started so I can have a score to increase? So, yeah, I get that. So we're going to talk about how to acquire credit. And then most importantly, we're going to talk about managing your finances. Everything is negated on your finances. And that controls, your whole life story financially. So we're going to talk about managing that and which will assist your credit score. All right. So, guys, want to thank y'all for jumping in. Hi, Andy. How are you? Lovely. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let's just jump right into this today, guys. Very important if you have any questions. Hello, my lovely auntie. Hey, nephew. All right. Thank you for jumping in as always. So let's jump into it, guys. How to increase your credit score. We know what the credit score is. You know, for the most part, is the score that is going to affect almost everything you do. Any type of loan. If you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, you want to rent an apartment, even sometimes getting a job. If you have bad credit, some people won't even hire you. So it's so important to make sure that you keep a good credit score because actually it shows responsibility. That's what it does. You know what I mean? So quiet as kept, the credit score, besides everything else, it shows your responsibility to your finances. And this is why it regulates a whole lot of things that you can and cannot do, right? Why people won't give you credit, why they won't hire you sometimes. You can't get a car, an apartment, a house. You can't, you know what I mean? All this good stuff, right? So we want to be able to keep our credit score up. The scores generally ranges from 300 to say 850. I know you guys hear these numbers all the time. And what they do is they grade you based on where those scores are. So you have a bad credit score, you have a good credit score, and then you have an excellent credit score if you're all the way in the 850s or the 800s. All right. So this is what we want to do, how to increase. So, I mean, if you guys have any idea where you are on this scale, now you know where you can shoot towards going towards the 800, 850. And we will talk about how you can do that today. All right. So how to increase your credit score. Let's jump right into it. The first item we want to talk about today, guys, is reducing your debt. So one of the things that, we tend to do is, if someone is offering us a credit card, we take it. If someone is offering, we go out and we get stuff with credit. We can't financially afford to pay cash for a lot of stuff. So what we do is we go on and we accept these credits, right? So what happens is you want to make sure that you got all this debt out there. You want to be able to decrease your debt, because if you don't reduce that and you have so much debt out there, I will let you know, guys, what they do is they do look at the amount of debt utilization that you have. Big factor in regulating your credit score, the amount of debt utilization that you have, which is the amount of revolving credit, right? The amount of revolving credit. So if you guys have 2 and 3 credit cards, or 4 credit cards, and then you have, car loans, and you have all these other things that's considered debt that you have to pay off, the more of the debt that you have, the more it affects your credit score, right? So what we're going to talk about is how you reduce that stuff. So if you have several credit cards, you have a car note, and you have other bills that you need to pay. Some of us have maybe medical bills, or we have, other cards that we put certain expenses on. We want to be able to reduce those debt by paying them down. So this is what happens. And, and then there is this strategy to how you pay down your debt. Because the way the credit score is based on the amount of debt that you utilizes, right? So for instance, I want to give you guys an example. Let's say you have 5 credit cards and those credit cards are all maxed out. Now, if you go on and pay off one of those credit cards, the other 4 credit cards that's maxed out, you used up all of the credit limits on those cards, it won't even bring down your debt. It won't increase your credit score because those credit cards are still maxed out. So I want to give you guys an idea of how you can do this where it will be more effective, right? So what you want to do, the credit bureau score your debt according to the amount of utilization, which means that if you have $1,000 credit limit, right, and you use up most of that $1,000, let's say $800 of it or $850 of it. So on each card or on each credit line, on each credit limit, you use the maximum amount. So what you would like to do, guys, they prefer for your score, your credit utilization to be less than 30%. That's what's going to increase your credit score. So what you want to do with this is a trick. What you want to do, you don't want to necessarily just pay them off one at a time and pay them off one at a time, and then your other 4 or 5 credit lines are still maxed out. So what you want to do is you would like to get all those credit cards or all of your debt paid down to about 30%. Because if you have, let's say, 5 lines of credit, 5 different types of credit, and they're all under 30%, then your credit score will go up, right? As opposed to having 5 lines of credit, you pay 1 off and that's 0, but then these 4 are still at the maximum amount. They're still over and above 30%. Your score will still not go down the way you expect it to. Okay, so just listen to that very carefully, guys. There's an art to do this stuff. You want to make sure that what you do is, if you have 5 credit lines, now you want to try to get all of your utilization under 30%. Okay, so you guys get that? Example again, I'm gonna give you an example again. If you have a credit card, let's say that's $1,000 limit, right? If you use, say, 850 of those dollars, the way it's done is if you take what you use and divide it by your credit limit and you multiply that by 100, it will tell you what your utilization is. In that example, it's 85%. So take all of your credit cards, guys. Take all your, not only credit cards, but all of your debt, you know, your car notes, everything that you have as a debt that you're paying on that's affecting your credit score. Take the total of the limit that you have on there. What's the maximum loan limit on there, and take the total of what your total debt is, right? You want to add up the debt and you want to add up the limits. And then when you divide your debt by the limit, it gives you the percentage of the credit that you are using. This is so important, very important, guys. Again, if it's not under 30%, it doesn't matter how you're paying those bills, it will still not increase. That's what we want to do. It will not reduce the debt enough to increase the credit score. All right. So I hope that's clear, guys. Pay down all your debt. If you'd like to pay each one of them down under at least 30% of usage, that will increase your credit score dramatically. Okay. So that's the first one, reducing debt. And again, you don't want to be reducing your debt and then acquiring more debt. So I want to keep that in mind. Don't go out and get some more credit card as you're trying to reduce the debt that you already have. So that's the key to that is you already have enough credit. You want to reduce those debt and pay each one under 30% if you can, as opposed to just paying them off individually and keep them maxed out. All right, you guys, hope you guys get that. All right, hi, the real Court. Thanks for jumping in here. Lauren Smith, thanks for jumping in. All right, Eddie, thanks for jumping in here as well. So let's jump into my number 2 point, guys. Number 2 is acquiring credit. Now, we got folks out there whose credit is, they don't have enough credit, right? Or some people have no credit whatsoever because they just never believed in going out and getting debt. They figure they'll pay cash for everything. But then when they get to a point where someone is trying to buy a car or some other major purchase, and then they have no credit, right? So acquiring credit. So to acquire credit, guys, this is what you want to do. One of the first things that most people will do is, let's say you have a family member, a parent, or someone who has excellent credit, who has great credit history, you know, a length of credit. It's been a while, because they also, you know, that's another factor. I'll talk about the factors that affect your credit. So if you have someone, a family member, you know what I mean, a parent or someone that has great credit history, they can add you as a person to on your credit card, they can add you as an authorized user on a credit card. If someone adds you as an authorized user on a credit card, they have excellent credit. It will then give you your first line item of credit. If you have no credit, you will have your first line item of credit because this person has excellent credit simply because they do all the things to make sure it's great. That will then transcend over to your credit score and it will give you your first line item of credit. So that's the first thing that you can do to get started acquiring some credit. One of the other things is they have these secure credit card. Have someone with excellent credit. Okay. All right. So they have these secure credit cards, guys. There's a lot of banks, a lot of places that have these secure credit cards. You can get one or two of those. What a secure credit card is that you put the money up front cash, right? You put the money up front cash, and then they give you a credit card. The credit card is secured by the amount of deposit that you made. And your credit limit generally is based on the amount of deposit that you made. So if you're starting out and you're getting a secure credit card, and let's say you deposit $2,000, they'll give you a credit card. The limit will be $2,000, same as the amount of deposit that you have. And so that would give you your credit limit on that secure credit card. Now, the banks or anyone, they're not afraid to give you this credit card simply because it's your money. However, you want to use one that is reporting. They want to you use one that's reporting your payment history, right? So it's a secured credit card, but they report the payment history. So what you do is you use it. You're not using your money. You're using the card, and you make payments on that card on a monthly basis, timely basis. You make your timely monthly payment, and that will build your credit, guys. Okay, so that's another second point that you can do to acquire credit. And then the third point that you can do to acquire credit, guys, you could, after you do one or two of those things, you can apply for a credit card or a loan. Let's say, at a financial institution, maybe a credit union or someplace, if you bank there, you might want to reach out to them and apply for a loan. There are places that will give you credit for newcomers. They will do people that have credit before, and they will give you some credit. It's not going to be a large limit, but if you pay your monthly payments on time, guys, what they normally do is they will increase your credit limit. Excellent situation to be in. First of all, it's responsibility. They want to know that you're gonna have some debt over here, but you're gonna pay it off. So they will extend more limits to you if they know you're going to make those payments, right? It's as simple as that. It's just a matter of being responsible. This is what they want. And this is how you can build your credit, okay? So those are 3 points that you can use to acquire credit. If you have no credit, guys, they work. Believe me, they work. And so if you have no credit, you want to at least start by doing that. Try to get on someone's credit. If not, do secure credit card. And also go for some credit cards that will not give you a very large limit, however, but they're designed for newcomers. And you make those payments, and they'll start increasing your limit from $300 to $500. Before you know it, you may have $2,000 or $3,000, and then that will look great on your credit report, and that will also have other people believing in you and extending more credit to you. Okay, so that's my second point. Hi, Karen. Thanks for jumping on here. All right, so acquiring credit. So the third point today, guys, let's jump right into this. First and foremost, you want to be able to manage your finances, right? So you cannot increase your credit score, maintain a healthy credit score if you're not managing your finances. This is the key to the whole thing, right? You want to have a budget. You want to know how much money you're spending. So you want to make sure you know what your income is, what your bills are. Why? Because you must. To manage your finances, to know what you have available, and to get an excellent credit score is to pay your bills on time. And you can't do it if you don't know what kind of income you have. You don't know what kind of cash flow you have left. So you have to manage your finance so you can have the cash flow to pay your bills on time. So that's the key, right? So you need to budget, know where your money is so you can make your payments on time. There's ways you can pay your payments on time, guys. This is very easy. There's a lot of times I know people, you can talk to your phone and have it remind you. You can set up calendar reminders. You guys can do all this stuff. You can set up calendar reminders. There's all kinds of ways you can remind yourself to make payments, right? That's one of the ways you can do that. I remember I used to not remind myself and always try to depend on my memory to remember this stuff and forget sometimes, right? So there's a lot of ways you can remind yourself. Nowadays with all these phones and all your email, you can email yourself, you can send messages to yourself, remind yourself to make those payments, pay your bills on time, very key. I know the major way you can do this, right? Everybody's asking you now to do auto pay. You guys see that all the time. Every time you get something, you get a bill, a notice for paid, everything on your utilities, whatever it is. Everyone asks you, do you want to enroll in auto pay? Okay. So if you're one of those people who wants to make sure that you're not thinking about having to make a payment on anything, you want to enroll in auto pay. Believe me, it was the best thing I could have ever done. Auto pay, that minimum payment is going to get paid. And guess what? If you want to make more payments, you could just go in there and override the auto pay and pay whatever it is that you want to pay. Okay, so auto pay is an excellent way for you guys to make sure that that happens. And then managing your finance. Why? Because if you enrolled in auto pay, you need to make sure that money is in that bank account. So when they go in to get that payment, it's there. Main reason why you want to manage your finances, want to know what's in your checkbook, want to balance your checkbook, want to make sure the balance is right so the money is there. So if you're doing auto pay, you have to make sure that money is available for them to be able to make that payment, right? See, Rise, let's see, you have a question over here. We're on our way from auto pay, but we're on our way from auto pay, but it was truly an excellent way. Yeah. Auto pay, excellent way. Believe me, if the money is in the account that they can get that payment, you don't have to worry about that payment getting made. Override it if you want to make more payments, and that's great. So if you have any other way that you can manage this, then that's perfect. If not, I'll say that's the way to go, right? So you want to be able to do that, guys. Again, these are the 3 points that I know that will definitely increase your credit score. Let me just recap these points. Let me go over this again. Is there another point over here, Shiraz? Let's see. Let's run away from. Let's go over these 3 points again, guys. To increase your credit score, you want to reduce your debt. Mainly, you want to make sure that your debt ratio is low. You want to have debt utilization of no more than 30%. It doesn't matter how many credit lines that you have. You want to add up your total credit limits, and you want to add up what the debt is. And if you are over and above 30% of utilization of your credit, guys, your score will be low. So you want to reduce your debt. You want to pay down your debt, and again, systematically do it in a format that will work, because sometimes it won't work if you don't do it right. Strategically, you have to do it in a format that will work. Try to get each line of credit under 30% first, and that will get your score to increase. All right. So the first one is reducing the debt. Second one is for those people who want to acquire credit. I know you can't talk about getting credit score, increase the credit score if you don't have any credit. To acquire credit, guys, we talked about maybe getting added as an authorized user with someone who has excellent credit. And we talked about getting a secure credit card, which will assist you in getting credit lines reported, because you're utilizing monies that you have deposited in the bank and you're making your payments on time. So that's what they want to know. And at that point, you can go ahead and apply for some credit cards and other credit that's tailored to people who are new. And the key is make those payments in time. They will trust in you. They will raise your credit limit. Okay. And then, of course, once the credit limit is raised, you will acquire more credit. Once you utilize that well, it looks better, because, again, what they do, they look at your credit score. They look at the amount of credit that's been extended to you. That also tells the lender how responsible you are. So that's the key, right? And then the next thing, managing the finance. Know how much money is in the bank account. You want to balance your bank book, the checkbook all the time, so your payments can be made on time. Very important, okay? So manage your finances, guys. I am not going to sit here and let you know and not tell you that it influences almost everything we do by having excellent credit, right? Almost everything you do. Once again, like I said, sometimes you may deny a job just because your credit is not good. You can't buy homes, you can't get cars, any major purchases. You need to have excellent credit for almost everything. It really plays an important part. And they look at the way you utilize the credit. They look at the type of account that you have. They also look at how long you have those accounts. All this stuff is a factor in increasing your credit score, right? So on that note, I want to tell you guys to monitor your credit. Make sure you know what's on there. Make sure you know what's being reported on there. And if there's anything derogatory on it, make sure that you jump on it right away and take care of it, right? So that's what I got to say in terms of increasing your credit score, guys. With that said, that will wrap up this section of how to increase your credit score. If you guys have any questions regarding this matter and you want any further explanation, you hit us up at PROBY'S Tax and Accounting at 323-290-9034, and or visit our website and or put your questions or comments below here, guys. I'll come back through and we'll take a look at those and we'll respond to them as well. So leave your questions and comments right on the screen. We'll come back through here and get those. And then I want to remind you guys, before I go, I want to remind you guys we're having a free class of, if you were ever thinking of starting a business, you are, like I put it in there, if you were on the fence and trying to figure out whether you should start a business or not start a business, we're going to have a free class telling you guys the benefit of starting a business. When you hear this, if you were undecided, I guarantee you will get your business started, because I know a lot of people want to start a business. Some people, well, you know, it's a little difficult. Why should I start a business? When I finish telling you guys the benefit of starting a business, I guarantee you that if you have any idea that you might want to start a business, you will get that business started, okay? And then right after that, in a couple of weeks after the benefit of starting a business, we will have another 5-day challenge. And this challenge, guys, will tell you how to get it started, because now you have decided you want to get this business started. Good. Excellent. We will teach you how to get it started in the 5-day challenge, how to get your business started, you know, how to name the business, how to get in compliance, all the licenses and things that you have to get, how to get your bank account going, and how to utilize it so you can separate your personal from your business. We can get your business up and running after this course. I guarantee you have your business up and running in 5 days. All right. So 5 days, few hours a day. That's all we need. And you will get going on that, guys, so you can begin to build yourself some wealth and operate a very successful business. So with that said, I think I'm up out of here, guys. I'll put your notification on. We're here every Tuesday and Thursday with some great information. For you to register for the free class or the challenge, go to elainesdesk.com. Right, elainesdesk.com. Go there and register for the free class and the 5-day challenge. And join me every Tuesday and Thursday. All right, we'll be back with more information. Anything special that you guys want to hear about, you know, let us know. We'll discuss it. All right. So with that said, I want to wish you guys a very happy Thursday, and you guys take care of each other and take care of yourself. See you later. Bye-bye.